Evening. Greg Vinyl here, obviously from Doc Lures, Australian Lure Fishing Podcast. Just wanted to take the opportunity to share a couple of things that are going on um, around the Team Doc Lures and Australian Lure Fishing Podcast space for those who have an interest in some of the stuff that we're doing. So, first thing is, you may have heard that within Team Doc Lures now we have started a tackle collective, which is designed to allow people to experience some different lures than they might have otherwise used before, and maybe get them at a little bit cheaper price, so they can get out, give them a try, and see whether they like them. So that's one big thing. And so part of what we've done with that is put together a bit of a lure pack. And I'm actually going to bring it up on the screen now rather than talk about it without you seeing it. I may as well bring it up for you to see. So this is the first offering of our Team Doc Lures Tackle Collective. It's available to the public and it's available to Team Doc Lures members as well. And as you can see here, there's also a chance for somebody to win one of these as well. So what I'm going to do is just talk about each of the lures that are in this pack, and just go through why it is that I chose them, and why I'm going to be so these are actually lures that I'm going to be experimenting with myself over the next couple of months up here in northern Australia. So, but they're also very, very good southern estuary lures as well. So let's just I'll ditch that photograph and let's open up our page. So this is where the Team Doc Lures members who want to get on board can go ahead and buy this pack. You can see for those who you can't see because I'm on the wrong page here. But anyway, you can see it at the bottom of the page there. So it's $140 for members. The regular retail price of these lures is $220. So it's a pretty good deal if you're a Team Doc Lures member. But there's more to it than that as well, because what we're doing as part of this pack is we're offering a tutorial, the opportunity to communicate with other people who have bought the pack as well, exchange notes, get a bit of a feel for what's working, what's not working, and get some feedback on the lures as well. So it's kind of a cool addition. Now, if you're a member of the public and you're not part of Team Doc Lures, well, the price is a little bit higher, but it's still not as high as retail price, right? And you get a membership thrown in, so you get all that other stuff too, which is pretty cool. G'day, Mickey. Nice to see you here, mate. Gippsland Fishing Page. Thank you for your for touching base with me. So what I'm going to do, as I said, I'll go through each of the lures just briefly, talk a little bit about why they're in the mix, and then I'll tell you how you can enter to win the prize, or how you can just go ahead and buy one if you want to do that and just get the pack and not have to worry about waiting to see whether you've won it. So let me bring up the first lure. I'll need to scroll this page a bit. So the first lure that's in this pack is the Pro Lure Clone Prawn. I've put two clone prawn sizes in this kit. So the clone prawn, for those who haven't seen it, I've actually got a video. Why don't I play a video of the clone prawn? I'll show you exactly why it is that it was put in this kit. Now you can see this lure is just sitting on a boat ramp. There's a little bit of water coming up through. The lure itself is not being moved, but you can just see how lifelike it is. The legs wiggle and move and that kind of thing. So for finesse fishing, for those who are fishing down south for bream, estuary perch, jewfish, lots of other species as well, this is a great lure. You can just cast it out, almost dead stick it. You don't even need to move it much. You can see it just looks so realistic. So the reason that I've included that particular lure in this pack, given that I'm going to be playing around with it in northern Australia, is that I wanted a lure that I could sink down when there's not much tidal movement, because quite often when the tidal movement's slow up here, the barra are quiet, the jacks are quiet, the grunter are quiet. So I wanted something that I didn't have to work too much and that I could tempt those less active fish with. Now, if you're down in a southern estuary, these are perfect for casting out anywhere there's likely to be a big flathead, sitting on the edge of a drop-off around the mouth of a creek or a snake drain. If you're fishing for jewfish, you could drift these down rock walls. Really good for that as well. So 120 millimeter size, so really good size for bigger fish like the snapper, the jewfish, the bigger flathead, barramundi, that sort of thing. And there's a couple of different colors for those who like their colors. There's the motor oil. There's also the jelly prawn color. For those that, I'm not a big colors guy. A lot of people know this. I'm not a big colors guy. So for me, either of those colors is going to be fine most of the time. G'day, Brad. But I do like a duller colored lure when the water's a bit murky or a bit darker. So that's perfect for this, or this lure is perfect for that sort of scenario. So I've also included a smaller clone prawn. So this is the 92 millimeter size. And the reason I've put this in is that quite often, again, when the tide's a little bit slow, the water's clear, the water levels are low, and I've really been thinking about using these um, in shallow estuaries, northern shallow estuaries. So the water's clear, the tide's low, there's not much movement. A smaller size prawn often is going to do the trick. Often the bigger prawn is just too much of a mouthful for even the jacks. They'll be a little bit cautious. And they'll engulf a smaller fish, a smaller prawn rather, but they won't necessarily eat a larger one. G'day, Martin Chambers. Long time no see, mate. Thanks for joining us. So, look, that's the clone prawns, and then there's a couple of other Pro Lure soft plastics that I've been meaning to try as well, and I haven't. So the Pro Lure fishtail. I mean, this is just a known Mulloway jewfish killer right down south. If you're wanting to catch jewies on lures, you've got to have some of these in your kit. But I don't know too many northerners that are using them. So I thought, well, they've got a big flat paddle tail. They've got a nice thin tail wrist. So that tail is going to have plenty of action. Lots of little grooves along the tail to create a bit of vibration as well. So I reckon they're going to be perfect on the barra. I'm not talking massive barra here, although big barra will take a 130 millimeter plastic, no problems at all. But this pack is really, as I said, I'm looking at it for fishing in shallow estuaries and creeks. So the barra that I'm likely to pick up, they're more the rat barra size, 70, 80, 85, maybe 90 centimeter sort of fish. So perfect for that. I've also thrown in a smaller fish tail, again, because often the jacks and the grunter will take a smaller offering and will reject the larger offering, so to speak. And then I've put in a couple of hard bodies. Now I've put in two of the same, again, shallow running lures. Now this is a little bit of an experiment on my part, and I'll be interested if anybody's actually used the Pro Lure ST72. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on how this will go. But in freshwater, it's a slow sinking lure. Sorry, it's a suspending lure. In saltwater, it's a slow floating lure. I'm hoping that it's got enough buoyancy that I can add just slightly heavier duty hooks on it. It's designed for brim, jewfish, flathead, and it would probably, I think, I mean, Pro Lure say it's fine for mangrove jack, but we do get the odd barra snaffle a mangrove jack lure from time to time. So I'm kind of hoping that if I add some slightly heavier duty trebles to it, not necessarily thicker wire, but slightly heavier duty, that it might end up being a suspending lure that I can use as a jerk bait through shallow mangrove areas and swamps and right up in the top ends of creeks. So that's the Pro Lure S72, and there's two of those in the pack. So the IU and the violet shrimp, which again, another prawn imitation, very, very prawny when you start getting into the top end mangroves. And then there's these guys. So these are the prawnos. These are fairly new on the market, and they're a 92 millimeter. So they're a smaller prawn again. And you might be asking, well, why would you add this in when you've already got, the Pro Lure prawns in there? So you've already got a couple of different size prawns, different color prawns. Well, these guys are weighted prawns, and they're TPE plastic. So they're a tougher plastic. And so what I wanted these for was when there's a bit more current going through, when I need to be able to sink a lure down a bit of an embankment, get it in close to the mangroves, then sink it down. They've also got the exposed point, which means they're likely to be a little bit more snaggy when I'm casting into the mangroves, but they're also likely to pin more barra than what a lure with a hidden point is going to do. So a weedless rigged presentation, so to speak. So these little guys, I haven't had a chance to fish with them yet. They look the goods. I've swum them in the swimming pool. They look the goods. Can't wait to sling them at some fish. So I've thrown some of those in as well to this pack. And then we've got some hooks. So those who know John Didge or have heard John Didge's podcast episodes on the ALF podcast, you might have heard him talking about his Soso hooks. So same name because one of his mates reckons it looks like someone's threaded a sausage on them. So these are great hooks. They're mustard hooks, really high quality hooks, and the lead is molded on in Australia. It's recycled lead, so all good stuff. Now you'll notice, and if I just point here with the mouse, hopefully you can see that on the screen. This is a 30-degree bend, so it's not a jig hook. with a 90-degree bend. It's a 30-degree bend, and that's perfect for casting into shallows, right? Because it gives the lure action, keeps it down low, allows you to work it and twitch it close to the bottom. And I'm hoping these will skip really nicely under the mangroves, up into those shallows, those little hidden places where it's a little bit dark, there's a little bit of water flow coming through, and they'll do the damage on the jacks. They've also got, as you can see here, the twist lock fittings, which means that you don't have to thread all that lead through the middle of your soft plastic, right? So you're not going to tear your plastic to pieces. You just simply screw these twist locks into the front end of the plastic, thread the hook through at the tail end, and you're good to go. So they're fantastic. And then finally, I've got some unweighted 28D. So again, these are mustard hooks, good quality hooks, again with the screw lock fitting on them. And these will be fantastic for rigging those fish tails or the prawns as well for unweighted presentation. So if you're wanting to skip them across the surface, fish them in really shallow water, fish them almost on the surface or just below the surface, these will be perfect for a weedless presentation. So that's all the lures that are in the pack. I'm going to switch off that screen now because it's confusing me. I'm easily confused. So that's all the lures in the pack. So David has used these lures. I'm assuming you're talking about the ST72s, David, and you reckon they're good. I have no doubt that they're great lures. It's the usual thing in Northern Australia that it's that balance between getting the bite and staying connected. So trying to get hooks that are heavy duty enough that they will not straighten, but not so heavy that they're going to sink the lure. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment with that one, but I know that I can use those lures as they come out of the box for sooty grunter and probably jungle perch and that sort of thing as well. So if I can't rig them with heavy hooks, that's not a big deal. They will still fish fine. Hello, Brisbane Fisher. Good to have you along, mate. Oh, the prawns, David. Yeah, the Pro Lure prawns, there is no doubt about them. They are fantastic. Very, very good lures to present. So, as I said, there are three ways that you can get these. You can either get them as a member of Team Doc Lures, in which case you're getting them at mates rates at $140 for the pack. So $220 worth of lures for $140. And what I'm going to do, folks, is just put up for a moment. There we go. How about that? So I've just put that up for a moment. Now, if you're a Team Doc Lures member and you use that SQ code to go through and check out the gear, you'll find that there's a member's code there that you can use. When you get to the checkout, you just put the coupon code in there. It doesn't work unless you're a member and you're logged in, and you can log in from that page as well. So log in, use the code, and you'll get that discount. It'll be $140 for you guys. Anyone else? $180, but it also includes 12 months Team Doc Lures membership, which means you're getting 12 months more of these deals where you're going to get everything at mates rates. Plus, you're going to get members only podcast episodes. You get the members only live streams. There's already a bunch of audio masterclasses. There's video tutorials. There's ebooks. There's resources there for researching your fishing spots, all that kind of stuff. So that's all in Team Doc Lures. And you get all of that when you buy this pack of lures, okay? Plus some support and a group of people who are also playing with these lures, bouncing ideas off each other. So I reckon that's pretty good value. I hope you do as well. It's been a pretty good response to it so far. So I'm really excited about that. You can see that come up now. I'm also going to share another link with you. So let me get rid of this one for the moment, because I know that there are people wanting to go ahead and enter the competition to win a pack. So let me tell you about entering the competition. There's another QR code here, and this is a different one. So this will take you through to enter the competition to win a pack of these. So it won't cost you anything, obviously, if you win it. The catch, though, guys, if I just go back for a moment to our, let me just close something down and go back to our page here that you can see. In fact, I'll make that even larger so you can see it properly. And you'll notice that there's a stopwatch here. Orders close 6/1/41. Okay, so the reason for that is this is a pre-order. So when you order this stuff, it's not going to be delivered straight away. I've got to wait until the material, all the products come to me, put the packs together, and then send them out. So they're going to ship in mid-March, but orders close in 6 days, right? So if you want to get one of these packs, jump in and grab it. The competition also ends in 6 days. So if you enter the competition and you don't buy a pack of lures, and you don't win a pack of lures, you've missed out. Okay. If you go and buy the lures and you enter the competition, then you win, I'll happily refund you your purchase price. Okay. So if you really want the lures, don't just enter the competition. Make sure you get them before that clock runs out. All right. So I'll pull that down because it's a little confusing. That's what you really need there. So that QR code you see on your screen, that will take you through to enter the competition. So go ahead and do that. And I will, in a moment, go back into the chat and I'll put a link there again for those who want to go and purchase the lures. So that's it, folks. That's the first offering of the Team Doc Lures Tackle Collective. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you jump on board. I know a lot of people have already, and I'm really excited to be able to bring some of this stuff to you and for our members to get exposed to a whole bunch of great lures and great products that they otherwise might not. So that's it for me, folks, on a Tuesday night. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for sticking around. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.